Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, family. How are you? Hope y'all all are doing okay. It is the 6th of November, day after Election Day, and I hope too many of you all are not sweating about things that you cannot change, okay? And, you just got to know everything is a grind to continue to uplift yourself and basically your tribe because I think America has drew a line in the sand and y'all can see it and you can play like you don't try to pick out the you know the situation and play like it's not happening. You can take out bits and pieces. However, I want to make sure I make this point clear. And there was a lot of people that blame black men for Donald Trump winning. Let me be the first to say I definitely don't think that black men are responsible for Donald Trump being reelected. Okay, first of all, they don't have that much power. Wasn't that many of them? No, no, that was not the case. Certainly was not black women. And I think if I look at the numbers correctly, I think something like, I don't know, maybe, um, you know, 5%, not even that much. I, I, I don't have the numbers out here, but um, if I believe I got it was correct, it was 59% of white men, 37% of white, uh, um, ooh, 20, 59% of white men, okay, and 47% of white women, 37% of Latino. That's where the bulk of your people came from that voted for Donald Trump. So, you know, for them, for Latino, because like a lot of them want to pass for white, although they heard it with their own ears, that most of MAGA felt like and feels like they nothing but a pile of garbage floating in the middle of the ocean. Um, Personally, if you want to look at black people, hell, we only 5% of the vote. What was it? 20% of us black men, black women, whatever, voted for Donald Trump. So that's not even enough to move a needle. But in my opinion, maybe some people that know these numbers better than me can chime in on that. But it was mostly white. And the sad part, at the end of the day, white women are responsible if you want to put the blame on somebody. White women and Latino. Because you already knew white men was going to vote for them. The white women, they couldn't see themselves voting for Kamala Harris. And I think white people in general are so afraid that we going to do to them what they've done to us that it is impossible for them not to see color first. And that's why I made the video and I said the other day, it's a certain kind of white person. Because we've had women, and I know it's a lot of misogyny as well, because mostly every other country has had a woman president, uh, except America. So for all of our, highfalutin, advanced, and beings, supposedly, we can't get this sex thing right. We feel that women should be dominated, and they don't have anything to offer like that. That they should be dominated by men, and that's just, it's a patriarchal society, and that's the worst part about it. And it doesn't matter if you're a black man, you feel like black women should serve you, no matter what. And a lot of y'all didn't want to vote for Kamala Harris because of how you felt about her. It didn't have anything to do with tangibles. It didn't have anything to do with, if you really want to keep it real, you even wanted to do something different, or you wanted to, um, you know, just wanted to, pretty much be contrary. But listen, I don't want to stay on that. And the reason why you see that Clotilda slave ship in the back is because that's what I wanted to talk about today. That is the oldest remnant of a slave ship that was found, and it was called the Clotilda. As a matter of fact, let her describe it. Talk about that.
To U.S. shores in 1860, decades after it was illegal. The remains of the last slave ship that came to America have been found. The schooner Clotilda brought 110 Africans to U.S. shores in 1860, decades after it was illegal to import slaves into the country. Those slaves were the last of an estimated 389,000 Africans delivered into bondage in mainland America from the early 1600s to 1860. The wreckage of the boat was found in Alabama's Mobile River. Megan Thompson has been reporting on the search, the history, and the meaning of it for those slaves' descendants. Here's her latest report.
We are at the upper end of Mobile Bay. This is the route that Clotilda took on its illegal voyage to bring people here to Alabama to enslave them.
James Delgado is a historian and maritime archaeologist who's researched the history of this inlet on Alabama's southern coast. Delgado says Mobile Bay has been an important place for trade for centuries.
The trade that ultimately changes everything is cotton. By the time the Civil War breaks out, Mobile is exporting over 500,000 tons of cotton. It's the basis of the entire economy, not just for the Mobile area, not just for Alabama, but for the entire South.
In 1860, buying and selling slaves was still legal and slave labor was in high demand. But importing slaves had been illegal for more than 50 years. A wealthy Mobile landowner named Timothy Mayhert made a bet he could pull off an illegal run to Africa, where slaves were much cheaper than in America. Mayhert paid Captain William Foster to sail the Clotilda to what was then the Kingdom of Dahomey. Foster purchased just over 100 slaves and returned to Alabama, sneaking into Mobile Bay and then north into the Mobile River under the cover of night.
The next part of the story, and we don't know much about it other than a few carefully chosen words by the perpetrators. I then took my schooner and burned and sank it, says Captain Foster.
Last year, after strong winds pushed water levels to extreme lows in the Mobile River, a journalist for the Alabama news website AL.com found a shipwreck in the area where the Clotilda is believed to have been burned. Experts, including James Delgado, were called in. But Delgado says he could see right away the shipwreck was too big to be the Clotilda. Delgado and others knew they were close. The Alabama Historical Commission continued to team up with Delgado's company called Search Inc., the National Geographic Society, the Smithsonian Institution, and the Slave Wrecks Project to do a full-scale assessment of a section of the Mobile River. They found a better candidate beneath the muddy waters, as seen in this video from National Geographic.
There's one target in particular that stands out. It's roughly the same size as Clotilda. 86 feet long and 23 feet wide, according to its registration documents. Frames of oak as well as planks of southern yellow pine. Fasteners all made of iron. We haven't seen a single fastener yet made of copper or brass. We've got a ship of the right size in what we think is the right place. At this stage, where we're at, this could be Clotilda.
Yesterday, the team announced they had found the Clotilda. In Africa Town, a small community in North Mobile of about 2,000 people, founded by slaves who came on Clotilda, it's a powerful moment for descendants and residents.
We think that would be one of the most historic finds in America, not just in Africa. The whole story becomes life and becomes true.
People will get excited about the community, to rebuild it, to give it its prominence.
And we'll have the proof that we need to know that we were part of the history of Mobile.
We need to tell it, we need to share it, we need to expose it to the world.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Megan Thompson.
And our thanks again to Megan Thompson from NewsHour Weekend for that report.
Wow. Very interesting. And to actually see the picture of Clotilda, that's it that you're looking at on the thumbnail. Is really transformational. Actually, what y'all think? What say you? The oldest illegal ship. And what I mean by illegal, y'all heard it. It made a voyage after importing slaves was outlawed. So that's what. Wow, it's really water beaten, and the iron on it. You can tell. You can just look at it and see that hole, and down in them holes of slave ships, you almost can hear your ancestors hollering down in there. I know I can. And what say y'all when you look? What say you? Especially anybody that is a descendant of an enslaved person. Just look at that ship and tell me if you can feel any energy from it. Let me know. I'd like to hear. And I'll see you in the next video. Oh, if you like what you hear, please like, subscribe, and share. Share the video. And and like the video. Don't cost you nothing. Don't cost you anything. And if you don't like it, you can do that as well. You can just thumb down, do like the Julius Caesar. But I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.